Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, as well as several others that are focused on different destinations. We are also an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And what that means is that we are extensively trained on site by Disney to be experts in their vacation product. And we are also recognized by them as meeting a certain sales number, as well as number of sales level, as well as providing just exceptional customer service that meets that Disney standard. So welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we are so excited to get to talk to you tonight about Disney's moderate level resorts. So we have a lot of information that we're going to share with you up front. But just know that at the end of the video, we are happy to take your questions. So if you do have a question at any point, feel free to just go ahead and drop that into the comments, and we will get to all of the questions towards the end of our time together. We are live using a program known as StreamYard tonight, and StreamYard might ask you to approve it to display your name and profile picture. Just know that you don't have to grant that permission to post a comment. You can just post an anonymous user if you would prefer to do that, and we'll still be able to interact with you and answer your questions. So I'm joined tonight by three awesome Marvelous Mouse Travels agents. So ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you would just take a second to introduce yourselves, tell everybody how long you've been with the agency and what the best way is for them to contact you if they're interested in planning a vacation.
Hi everyone, I'm Danielle Elliott. I have been with the agency since January of 2020, and the best way to contact me is my email, danielle.elliott@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Katie LaFleur, and I am coming up on my year anniversary in July with the agency. The best way to contact me is my email as well. It's katie.lafleur@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, I'm Dina Wright, and I have been with the agency since September. And the best way to contact me is also my email, Dina, D-E-N-A, @marvelousmousetravels.com.
And again, I'm Ginger. I'm about to celebrate my 3-year anniversary with the agency next month, actually. I am a master planner, and the best way to get in touch with me is my blog, which is gingermmt.com. That has links to all of my different social media channels, as well as a link to my free quote form as well. So, ladies, Disney has so many great resorts, on-site resorts to choose from, and they fall into 4 broad categories: value resorts, moderate resorts, deluxe resorts, and deluxe villas. And we have already done a video session on the deluxe resorts. And so if you missed that, we can link that for you in the comments down below this video after we've finished our session tonight. But we are here to talk about those moderate level resorts. And personally, I love the moderate level resorts. I think they are kind of that perfect happy medium between the value and the deluxe, because they're going to give you more amenities than what you're going to find at the value resorts, but they're going to come in at a little bit lower price point than what you would find at the deluxes. So they're really kind of like that Goldilocks place to stay. You know, everything's just right. So let's talk first, before we talk about the property specifically, what features can guests expect at a moderate resort that they wouldn't be able to get at one of those lower priced value on-site resorts?
Well, one of the things that my kids love, obviously, being in the water, is the water slides. So when you stay at a moderate resort, you will have that water slide feature right on site versus being at a value resort. The value resorts still have fantastic pools, but that water slide is one of our favorite parts.
Mm-hmm.
I love the larger rooms. They're slightly larger than the values. And I personally love the sound of a ceiling fan. So I enjoy that they have ceiling fans in the moderate resort rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the fact that the moderate resorts have sit-down restaurant options, whereas at the value resorts, you're going to have the quick service food court area. But at the moderate resorts, you're going to have a food court area, as well as at least one sit-down restaurant, and really oftentimes more than one. So
yeah. Definitely too. My favorite aspect of staying in a moderate, this seems like such a small thing, but it has double sinks in the bathrooms. And that's such a huge deal for our family. We just went out of town. We weren't at Disney this past week, but we were out of town visiting the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. And we stayed at a beautiful hotel, but it had one sink. And four of us trying to get ready around one sink in the morning just wasn't working. So having those double sinks in the moderate level resorts is an awesome perk, at least for our family. That's really important. And you guys mentioned a lot of those great perks too, having those sit down restaurants that are available, having a little bit more space in the rooms. Also too, I found that at a lot of the the moderate level ones, the transportation options and the locations are a little bit more convenient than those value resorts as well, particularly if you stay somewhere like Caribbean Beach, which is going to give you that Skyliner access, or if you stay at one of the Port Orleans resorts, which have boat access to Disney Springs. That's an awesome perk, and those are also the closest moderate resorts to the Magic Kingdom. So if that's the park where you're going to be spending a lot of your time, that location can be a really huge perk as well. So first of all, we've kind of mentioned a couple of them already, but what are the resorts that would fit into Disney's moderate category?
So I'll start off with my favorite, which is Coronado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it there. I love the atmosphere. You're kind of going to get a kind of a Aztec Mexican vibe, I guess you could say. And it's just beautiful. And it was recently completely redone with the Grand Casino Tower, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danielle. That one's my favorite too.
We love Caribbean Beach. Being a family of 5, we like that is one of the moderate resorts that fits a family of 5 with that pull down sleeper. So plus it's just gorgeous with the beach and the atmosphere. And like you said, the Skyliner, my kids thought that was a ride in itself when we went. So we just took the Skyliner back and forth and they had a great time.
That's great.
I love both of the Port Orleans resorts. I am from an area that's very close to New Orleans. And so it just kind of feels like home to me. And I love that the French Quarter is smaller and it's just very easy to get to everything in the resort.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you want a very easily walkable resort, there isn't a better option really than French Quarter because everything is very centrally located. Also, Port Orleans Riverside. I know that is a lot of people's favorite. That's another one, like Katie mentioned, that does have those pull down 5th sleeper rooms. So if you are a family of 5, that's accommodations for you right there. But this resort just has it's very tranquil and peaceful. And if you have a little Princess fan, we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, later on as we get into the specifics of each one. But if you have a little Princess fan, that can be a pretty awesome choice too. Now, have we left one out?
We have those cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Yes. And also, we were talking about this actually before we started our video, that when we were talking about going over the resorts, I initially left this one out because I just don't think about those cabins being a moderate level resort, but they are. Even though you have a full kitchen in those cabins, they still fit into this moderate category. So all total, as we've said, there are 5 different moderate options that you can choose from. And now we're going to kind of talk about the pros and cons of each one individually. So to kind of guide us as we discuss each resort, I'm going to phrase the next few questions in kind of a fill in the blank format. So we're going to kind of play a finish this sentence game, ladies. So let's start with Caribbean Beach. So finish this sentence. Caribbean Beach is the best resort for families who want blank.
Easy access to Epcot and Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
And
why is that?
Because you have the Skyliner.
Yeah.
And it connects you right there within minutes. And it's just fantastic.
It is.
I would say a touch of an island vibe, just with the beach, and even with the pirate themed rooms. So if you have a little boy or a little girl who really loves that pirate theming, they also have some fantastic pirate themed rooms at that resort too.
They do.
Say they're also really good for someone who's looking for a tiny glimpse of fireworks when those are going on at Epcot, because you can see them there from near the main building, which I was surprised the first time I stayed there to see those fireworks in the sky. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. And a relatively new, I think, perk of Caribbean Beach is that because it is so close to Riviera, it's actually the only moderate resort that has character dining like within walking distance. So you can easily walk over to Topolino's if you wanted to at the Riviera Resort and have that character breakfast. So that's an awesome perk too. And also I think y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe they're doing it right now, but this is one of only 2 resorts that actually has the mermaid school. So if you have a little mermaid fan who wants to learn, how to swim with a mermaid tail and feel like she's Ariel, you can do that at Caribbean Beach, and you can also do that over at one of the Values Art of Animation too. So I agree with everything you guys said. I love the theming of this property. I love how convenient it is if Epcot and Hollywood Studios are kind of your 2 focuses. And also, you do have that little bit of a fireworks glimpse when the fireworks are happening, and that's pretty awesome. So let's move over to Coronado Springs. Danielle, you said this was your favorite. It's my favorite too. Coronado Springs is the best resort for families who want blank. What would you guys say?
I'm going to say not what you're probably thinking. I'm going to say a deluxe feel at a moderate price point. I was also contemplating between food, but I'm going to pick the first one because with the tower, I mean, you just have it's just amazing. And I mean, even if you're not staying in the tower, you're still going to the tower to check in, and it's such a central part of the resort now that they've built it, that you have that deluxe feel, and it's stunning in there. I mean, the chandelier and the glasswork and the mosaics, and I love it.
It's gorgeous.
So, I was there actually last Sunday, and my daughter and I went over there for just a little while to look around. We were in the area, and I was so impressed by their elevator system.
Yeah,
I was blown away. It's computerized, and you had to say where you wanted to go, and then it just went there. There were no buttons inside. It was very deluxe feel.
Yes, very much so.
And this is going to sound crazy, and I'm probably the only one who does this on vacation, but they have a fitness center, and it's like a state-of-the-art fitness center. So maybe families who want still that touch of Disney, but really want a touch of home as well, and be able to go into that fitness center.
Yes, that's definitely true. And I would say too that, I think that you have a lot of suite style options at Coronado Springs that you don't have at those other moderates. So you can get, executive suites if you want. You can get king suites. They even, they're not doing club level right now, but during normal operations, they even have club level rooms and suites that are available. And so it truly does have a lot of the same amenities as a deluxe resort, but you're not paying that deluxe price tag. And, that's awesome. I also love the rooms at Coronado Springs. I love they've been very recently renovated. I love that the 3 caballeros feature very prominently in this resort, and our children love the 3 caballeros, and so they absolutely love getting to see pictures of them and everything there. So I totally agree. I love this resort for a whole lot of different reasons. I also think the food story over there is excellent. You have 3 bridges, you've got just so many different, even the quick service options over there are really good. So I'm excited to stay there again in November when we go down for our conference. We're having an agency conference down there. It's gonna be awesome. So let's talk about Port Orleans Riverside. So Port Orleans Riverside is the best resort for families who want blank. What would you guys say?
A peaceful atmosphere.
Yeah,
it's just so relaxing. The pool area is just wonderful. It's really one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful.
maybe a touch of the South without having to go to the South. Just, the difference, even the different landscaping, I think it's just so, there's something about it that just kind of draws you in, having those big pillars and the white brick. And I just think it's so picturesque. And it's, you don't have to go very far to experience something new. So
yeah, I was going to say it has a very stately feel to it. And I love that. I actually remember staying there back when it was Dixie Landing. And I stayed there when I was younger, and now I have to go back and stay there again and experience it. Now that it's been rethemed.
Yeah. And, my favorite on-site resort in terms of just like the beauty of it is probably the Grand Floridian. Like, I love walking into that beautiful lobby. And I also like the lobby at Port Orleans Riverside. It's obviously not as large as the Grand Floridian, but it reminds me of the Grand Floridian just in terms of like the attention to detail, the moldings and everything that are in there. It's just really, really pretty. I would say this resort is best for people who have a little princess who, just wants that princess theming, because there are princess themed rooms at Port Orleans Riverside. You can see a picture of one here. Tiana is probably the most prominent princess, and rightfully so, because this is Port Orleans. But she, all of her friends are also featured as well. There's even some references to the princes. Those headboards and the beds are fiber optic, and so they kind of glisten, and it's just really, really magical for a little princess fan. And you're greeted with a letter from Princess Tiana. In the bathroom, we don't have a really close-up picture of this, but in the bathroom, the faucets are actually themed after the lamp from Aladdin. So there's just little princess touches everywhere. And that's super fun if you have a little princess in your travel party. So speaking of Port Orleans, let's kind of move over to French Quarter for a second and talk about what this one. So Port Orleans French Quarter is the best resort for families who want what, in your opinion?
Maybe something smaller. If you haven't ever been to Disney before, it might be a little bit overwhelming. So maybe a first stay, just because the resort is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more quaint and just feels a little bit more homey.
Definitely, I agree.
I love that it and both of the Port Orleans resorts have the water transportation to Disney Springs. That's fun. And just like the Skyliners are right in itself, well, I think the water taxi is too.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Beignets.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you want beignets. These things are epic. They are absolutely amazing. Now they're, obviously this resort is closed right now, so we don't know exactly what the beignets will look like when they reopen. But prior to the closures, they actually had started making them Mickey shaped, which is really fun. They have seasonal varieties like a pumpkin spice one in the fall and stuff, and they are just killer. I mean, they're so good. I don't even know how to describe them.
Don't wear a black shirt when you eat them.
No, definitely not. But they have a beignet sundae that you can order. They have jambalaya. I mean, they have like a lot of really good things in their quick service location over there too. So they're so good. Those beignets, they're worth going over there. Like, even if you're not staying there, if you're just hanging out at Disney Springs and you want dessert, go get you a beignet. Yeah, it's worth it. They're so good, and it's just a quick boat ride, and you're there.
It's so nice at night too.
Oh yeah, it's very pretty at nighttime. I just love that resort, period. Like, I think it's very beautiful, and the pool there is really, really fun too for kids. Like, it has almost like a Mardi Gras type of theme to it, and the same thing in the food court. Yeah, the gators and everything. So it's just a fun atmosphere for kids too. So let's talk about the cabins. I almost left these out because, like I said, I just don't think of these as being a moderate, because they do have that full kitchen. But the cabins at Fort Wilderness are best for families who want what, in your opinion?
I'd say glamping.
I was going to say to rough it without roughing it.
Yeah, so true.
I I'm not a camper, so that is my
Yeah.
version. That would be my version of camping. It's, you're still kind of out in the woods, but you have all of the amenities that you need.
Yeah.
And I love that you can take a golf cart around the resort.
Mhm.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, definitely. I would say if you want space, this is a great option for you because like you have a full kitchen, you have an eat-in area, you have a sitting area which sleeps two with a sleeper sofa, and then you have a separate bedroom which has a double bed and then two bunk beds in it. So you have, sleeping accommodations for 6 people. You have a bathroom, you have a full kitchen if you want to cook your meals, you have a deck area, you have a grill, you have like designated parking that's just for your cabin. Like there's just tons of space there, and also a lot of great recreation. Like sometimes people go to Fort Wilderness and don't even really go into the parks because like there's enough stuff to do that if you only want 1 or 2 park days, you're still not going to run out of stuff to do on your vacation if you stay at Fort Wilderness, because you can ride horses and do water sports and all kinds of stuff that you might be interested in. So let's move on a little bit. We've kind of talked about like the different theming of each moderate resort and, which ones are great for which family. Obviously, if you got a family of 5 or 6, you're going to look at certain resorts and not others. But just in terms of like the standard rooms, in your opinion, which moderate resort has the best rooms? I know that's hard.
I'm going to say Coronado. I just
Okay.
feel like it's just kind of a touch above everything else. And I know that we already talked about it being, almost like a deluxe resort, but at that moderate stage. And yeah, that would be my vote.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Katie.
I would say Coronado as well, but I would almost say specifically Grandisino Tower because they are, their interior entry as opposed to exterior entry, much closer to the bus stop. So if you really want that true deluxe feel at the moderate price tag, not only Coronado Springs, but specifically Grandisino Tower, because it's totally, totally worth it. And typically the price difference between a standard room at Coronado and the Grandisino Tower is not that great. And so in my opinion, it's totally worth the upgrade there. In fact, you guys could chime in if you agree with this. I would almost say that a preferred room is worth it at every moderate resort because the standard rooms can be a little bit further out because these are large properties. So those standard rooms can be a little bit further out from transportation and food. So those preferred, I think, are definitely, in my opinion, worth the upgrade. But
especially if you have little ones that are tired at the end of the day. It's kind of a big walk. Mom and dad got to carry everybody and all the souvenirs. It's a lot easier to be closer to everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, totally true. So which moderate resort, in your opinion, has the best location in terms of being closest to the parks or closest to Disney Springs? What's the optimum location?
I don't know. Cabins are close to Magic Kingdom, but not the other parks. And so I get torn on that one.
Yep.
Depends on, I guess, what parks you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to Epcot or even Hollywood Studios, then Coronado or Caribbean Beach would be the closest.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it really does. It just depends. And so this is I think a great question to kind of illustrate the importance of booking your vacation with a travel agent, because you can tell your travel agent like, hey, this is the park or the parks where we want to spend most of our time. And we can kind of direct you in terms of, okay, well, this is going to be the best location for you in terms of what you're wanting to do with most of your time, what's going to get you there, quickest and be most convenient for you. And we'll talk a little bit more at the end of the video about that and about what it looks like to book with an agent and does it cost you extra and all that kind of stuff. We'll get to that later, but that's the sort of personalized recommendation that you can get from an agent planning your vacation. So in your opinion, which moderate resort has the best transportation?
Caribbean Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Skyliner.
Get the Skyliner.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what my vote is. My kids could ride that Skyliner forever.
And I think too, like I think the Skyliner has just been a complete game changer for Disney because you're getting it's easier to experience other resorts. So, if maybe you're a little bit, tired at night and you want to go check out the Riviera, like, or, you want to go walk around Art of Animation. And because Art of Animation has some great sketches and stuff in the lobby. It's just like a nice kind of like end of the day activity to do. And I think that, the Skyliners really made so many awesome resorts accessible to one another.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, kids obviously love riding the Skyliner, but my mom is in her 60s and loved it just as much as my kids did. So, it is. And I'm in my 30s and love it too. So, I think that it really is that transportation style that everybody can enjoy the ride in and of itself, but I would agree that Caribbean Beach is going to get you conveniently to 2 parks, which is really important. It's going to get you to Hollywood Studios. It's going to get you to Epcot. And even the bus transportation from Caribbean Beach is not that far to the Magic Kingdom or to Animal Kingdom. I think it has kind of that nice central location, good transportation options. So yeah, I would agree. I love that one for that reason. So let's talk about food. What moderate resort has the best food?
Well, you already mentioned the beignets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that, to me,
you guys know my vote. Most people cry tears of joy when they see the castle, which I do too, but I also cry tears of joy when I see Three Bridges. So
Three Bridges is excellent.
I love it there. You have Dahlia Lounge. You have Rick's Sports Bar. You have Maya Grill.
Toledo.
You have so many hidden gems. It's an incredible resort for food.
Yeah. Coronado is a foodie's kind of a foodie's paradise. So we got votes for Port Orleans. We got votes for Coronado.
My vote's in between those because that's the only place where you can get gluten-free beignets. So if you have celiac, you can get your gluten-free beignets there. But Coronado, they have so much to choose from. So I have 2 votes. Can I have 2?
Of course.
I think also, and I don't. They're not currently operating. You girls can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but Caribbean Beach has Sebastian's and Spyglass Grill, which are 2 great options at those resorts as well for food. So all the resorts I think really have something for everyone's tastes.
Yeah, and Caribbean Beach, even before the reopening and everything, like was doing a lot of mobile order. Like they really had a big push for mobile order to make it convenient to eat there. They had a Coke Freestyle machine, which like not every resort had. So if you're really into Coke Freestyle, you have that option at Caribbean Beach too. So they all have different things to recommend them, and I guess it's just like a lot of, even with the location and the transportation, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for as to which one might be the best for you. So ladies, I have one more question for you, and then we're going to start to take some questions from people who have been watching and interacting with us tonight. But I have seen in a lot of groups that I'm in, or I've had clients ask and things like, without dining plans, without fast passes being offered, that there's not really any perks to staying on site right now. So what's your response to that?
The transportation alone in itself is a perk to me for staying on site, because then I don't have to worry about renting a car. I don't have to worry about getting up early to get in the car, to get to the park and pay for parking. So the transportation pretty much does it for us.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you can charge things back to the room. I'm a big Magic Band fan, and so it's just convenient. You don't have to bring any other form of payment with you, and it's just makes it easy.
Yeah. As you can tell, I have a Magic Band problem. So, this is not all of them. That's the sad thing. This is not all of them. But I agree. Like that, to me, I love not having to bring my purse into the park. I love just being able to just charge with my Magic Band. And you can't pay with your Magic Band if you're not staying on site, because it's not linked to your credit card. It's linked to your hotel portfolio. And so, that perk is definitely only for on-site guests. Anything else?
We talk about it all the time, but there's just something about staying in the Disney bubble that, I mean, to me, you can't put a price point on that.
Yeah, I agree.
So
it's magical. You're getting that customer service level that you expect from Disney too. And there's so many fun activities. Like they do movies on the lawn. They have all kinds of recreational activities, games that they play in the pool. Like there's so much stuff to do just at the resort. You also get, complimentary rounds of mini golf if you are booking a vacation package. Later as part of their 50th anniversary celebrations, they're going to start opening the parks up early to on-site guests. So definitely, I think you guys have hit the nail on the head that in my opinion, the main perk of staying on site is convenience, and convenience is definitely still there. It's there in the form of location. It's there in the form of transportation. It's there in the form of being able to pay with your Magic Band. So the number one perk that in my opinion is worth it in and of itself, convenience, is still very much a factor. And anything else above that is honestly just icing on the cake, because I think sometimes people underestimate how tired they're going to be at the end of a park day, and how important it's going to be able to easily and quickly get back to your bed. It's like a marathon every day, out in the heat, walking a whole lot, and so, and oftentimes with little kids too, I think it's quick. It's easy to think, oh, kids have energy, they're going to be fine, and they're passed out in the stroller, by the end of the day.
You're carrying them.
Yes. Or you're carrying them. So definitely convenience and the importance of that, I think, can't be overstated. So let's take some questions now from people who've been watching. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Oh, hello, Louisiana. Welcome. Oh, mine is Coronado Springs.
I do.
That's mine too.
French Quarter.
Oh, so the Grand Floridian is a deluxe, and it is gorgeous. Beautiful, fantastic location, close to the Magic Kingdom. You can even walk there if you want to, or ride the monorail or a boat. They have my favorite restaurant in all of Walt Disney World, Grand Floridian Cafe. I love that one. Anybody who's been watching any of these videos where we've talked about food, I have name dropped the Grand Floridian Cafe. I love that restaurant. It's fantastic. So you're gonna love the Grand Floridian. I've got to stay booked there for my family next month, and we're super, super excited. So highly recommend that one for sure. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. The beignets, they're so good.
Yeah.
The ice cream, the cupcakes, all the things. That's all good. Staying in Caribbean Beach in September, first time go. Oh, yes.
Nice.
You're going to love it. And your 7-year-old is going to love that there's a beach at every part of that resort, playing in the sand, sitting in the hammock. They've got an awesome pool there where you can play with these cannons. It's great. They're going to love it. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. So we're probably all going to have a different opinion on this. So who wants to give theirs first?
Oh.
I like Chef Mickey's.
Iconic. Yep.
I like Chef Mickey's and Topolino's. I go back and forth. I guess it just depends on the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Garden Grill on this one.
So of the ones that are open right now, Topolino's is my favorite.
Okay.
Period, across the board, it would probably be Akershus Royal Banquet Hall in Epcot. It's a princess meal. I love it. But of the ones that are available right now, I got to go with Topolino's. It's amazing. Topolino's is at the Riviera Resort, by the way, if you're wondering. And Chef Mickey is at the Contemporary. Garden Grill is in Epcot, as is Akershus Royal Banquet Hall. Yes, they do. They do. And in fact, the cabins will have a full refrigerator with an ice maker. They will have a oven, stove, microwave. Like they got everything. So, and it comes fully stocked too with dishes and cooking tools and things like that. Currently staying at Art of Animation, party of 6, but have adult kids. Thinking of doing 2 rooms at Coronado Springs. Is it worth it? Okay, so 6 adults at Art of Animation. Personally, I think 6 adults at Art of Animation would be a little tight in one of those family suites. Do you ladies agree?
I would agree.
Yeah.
And so I would personally think, now you're going to have 2 full bathrooms either way, because those family suites do have 2 full baths. But the bed situation is going to be better with 2 rooms. The thing with that you just do have to kind of be a little bit careful with is that you're not going to get a guaranteed adjoining rooms. You can definitely request that and they'll accommodate it if they can, but Disney will only guarantee adjoining rooms if children under 18 outnumber adults. So you can request that, but you can't necessarily lock it in that those rooms will be adjoining. Okay, awesome. Well, those are great questions. Thank you all so much for those questions. And thank you so much for joining us tonight for Sundays with MMT. We had a lot of fun talking about these resorts. We obviously love them, stayed at them ourselves, and would recommend them definitely from personal experience. So if you'd like to get some information on planning a vacation from any of the agents that you heard from tonight, feel free to go ahead and reach out. If you missed that contact information, it is back at the beginning of the video. Oh, we had one more question. We just went all first timers. Feel like I had no idea what all was available as far as characters and want to stay at a resort next time. Must do's. It really just depends. Like the must do's really just kind of depend on what you're interested in, what characters are your favorite, the makeup of your party. So for personalized recommendations, I would definitely suggest reaching out to an agent and letting them put together a personalized proposal for you in terms of where to stay. And then, once your vacation is booked, they can work with you on everything from booking dining reservations to coming up with a touring plan. So really anything that you would want to do, your agent could assist you with that. And booking through an agent is completely free. It doesn't cost any extra to book with an agent than it would cost to book that vacation online yourself. And yet you do get all of that personalized, help, planning assistance, recommendations, and all of that stuff. So definitely, I would suggest reaching out to an agent and letting them help you put together a great plan for your trip. So next week, we are going to be live in our Disneyland group. I'm actually really, really excited to get to be in the Disneyland group because it's the first time we've gotten to be over there in a while, because Disneyland has been closed for over a year at this point. And we are going to be talking about reopening information. We're also going to be talking about the Touch of Disney Food Festival. We have agents who are there right now as we speak, experiencing that, who are going to come and share their experiences with us next week. So I'm really excited about that. And if you're thinking about a Disney trip to the West Coast, definitely join us in our Disneyland group to hear, all about when that's going to be an option, and also too, the events that they have and things that are going on right now. But thank you again so much for joining us tonight. And we hope to see you guys again tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.